Muslim men being killed or stabbed to death only a few meters away from the mosque. It was a human being. It was a tragedy. Someone was killed. Why has to be a Muslim? Why has to be? There was equal distance, a church there. Church wasn't mentioned at all. So I'm just requesting everyone here that when you see something, if we done something wrong, of course you have the right to tell us, to advise us, to condemn us, to criticize us. But if there is something good, I think it is your words, and I'm requesting the non-Muslim brother and sister and friend here, your words are very effective. Make sure you make the use of it for the sake of humanity, not for the sake of religion. Regardless of forget about you are Muslim or non-Muslim. Your words are very powerful. So just tell the truth. Be supportive of your neighbor and Muslims. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry for my long speech.
Thank you. One here.
Imam, you're probably aware that in English there is a word for people who shout out at people to express their opinions and be disruptive, and that word is dickhead. And there's nothing much, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but Elton Terry might know, Uncle Terry might know whether in Indigenous language there was a similar word for people who behave like that. But I think that the issue is not really with dickheads, and it's not actually necessarily with the media as well, because I can assure you that as a moderate Christian voices are ignored when extremist Christian versions are there, and I'm sure moderate atheists are ignored when Richard Dawkins is available. So the press operates at a different level. I work in a Catholic school. We have a very small number of Islamic students who have been part of our school, and we love them more. They've contributed enormously to our school. None of them have become Christians, and many of them contribute to the Muslim community in this town. For the last 20 years, we've been taking a school trip to Brisbane to visit different faith sites. And so we go to the Holland Park Mosque, and Imam is there, as you know, is no bleeding heart liberal necessarily. And we have seen a long history there of incredible welcoming. But also I think that that Muslim views have evolved in our society just as Christian views are evolving. And I think that regardless of the media and regardless of the dickhead population, in the middle is what we do here. To the extent to which underneath everything that happens, there is a genuine welcoming and outreach, because then the stuff that appears in the media is questioned. Because people go, I know Muslims, they're not like that. And so I think our bigger task is what we do from day to day in a town like this, which is changing rapidly away from a very, very largely white population with a very large number of Indigenous people who were sidelined and ignored in their own country, now to a multicultural society in which we have to make efforts to reach out to each other, because otherwise we'll be shouted down by people who've got loud voices.
Thank you very much. Before we, after this question, if I could pose a question to the audience, is that okay with everybody?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you.
Thank you for your invitation today. I very much appreciate being here. I grew up in a family who was generations born in Australia, who always spoke English. I always admired people who come over to Australia from other countries, very much so. But I know over the years, and this is a little, I'm hopefully giving you a bit of hope here, and anyone who's of my generation would know, that Second World War, the Japanese and the Germans were the ones that we didn't trust, and the Italians and the Greeks were the ones we didn't trust. And once again, they lived in their own communities because that was where they were comfortable. Same thing, you know, I lived in Brisbane, it was West End, was where the Greeks and Italians were. And over time, it was the Vietnamese during the 70s. So I'm hoping that things will change and this will just be a forgotten era for the Muslims in Australia. I'm hopeful that will happen, and I wish you the best with that. I have one really simple question, and it is, when your parents came to Australia after living in a country where they did prayers 5 times a day, how did they adapt? And did they still continue their prayers
My parents in particular, yes. My parents in particular continued to pray their prayers here in Australia. It's not the same case with everyone, but yes, my parents at work, they were very sympathetic. My father worked at Royal Perth Hospital for something in the number of 32 years, and they all know him to be a Muslim. And they would tell him, "Oh, Farouk, it's 1 o'clock now, so we'll leave you alone, we'll come back in 10 minutes. They didn't even know how long it's going to take." So in my era, in the 90s, it was peaceful, it was no problems. It changes, but how things are now, I know of ladies that would love to wear a scarf, but they are really so scared. They are really so scared of wearing a scarf. So they make the choice of not wearing a scarf. So it's different to everybody. Thank you very much. I have a question for you all. I guess that what brings us all here today is that we're looking for peace. Can I have a yes?
Yes.
We are all here today because we want peace. Can I have a yes?
Yes.
Can you tell us, as the non-Muslim community, what are things that we should do to better our connection and to raise a voice, not through media, in other ways, that we can, positively create a better image for the Muslim community? Very difficult for overseas, but at least here in Australia. Can I please have some hands, and can I please have the Central Council of Queensland representative put up their hand, please, for me? Can I please have a Queensland, a Central Queensland Islamic Society committee member put up their hand, please? Jay, from the police force, can you please take down this document, these notes, and if the President, Brother Benil, with his community, they can pay heed to these questions, and perhaps he can help the community of Rockhampton and become a model for other communities, and then hopefully be a solution even for the big cities like like Brisbane. Can we do that, please? Yeah.
Oh, g'day, I'm Michael Pitt. This is a good show, I'm really glad you did this. I wish a lot of my mates could come along and sit here and listen to you.
Thank you
Listen
very
to what
much.
you're saying, I think it'd really educate them well.
Thank you.
Now, you were telling me about your children, 5 and 2, and it made you cry. And when you were saying that, I was crying because I came to Australia in 1988. I've been overseas for 8 years. I came back with a brown wife and 2 little brown children. My eldest son couldn't speak. He couldn't speak because he had a terrible stutter. And I said, "Mate, you're going to school, you're brown, you can't talk the language because you only speak French, and you stutter. You're going to have some major trouble. You're going to have to be good at sport." This is my thing. It sounds really simplistic. I'm sorry it's so simplistic, but Aussies are mad about sport. And every culture, the people that have come here and got involved in rugby league, AFL.
Can I have a round of applause, please?
Straight up.
Okay, so that was someone's taking notes. Sports.
Brother Benil, we have another Jay. Are you taking notes? So it's something, the reason why it just warmed my heart, it's something that I've been preaching in the last 5-6 months since I came back from teaching at the University of South Africa in Cape Town. We need to get into sports, it's part of our culture here in Australia. We need to educate the Muslim community in how to play sports. I'll tell you why. Amongst our Muslim community, we have different type of cultures, and sometimes we feel that one culture is dominant over the other. The Saudis, they have this certain way they carry themselves, that they always feel they know the religion better. Muhammad came from there, the Kaaba is there, the first masjid is there. All of these factors, it creates this image that they're better than everyone. So, and again, in the Arab world, there's a lot of other factors besides Islam being the problem. One is racism in the Muslim community. Racism is something massive in the Arab world. You should see how they treat the Bengalis and the Pakistani and Saudi. It's disgusting. So when these youngsters come here to our country, and I have to teach them, I was head of department of the Muslim school in Durat, on Blunder Road. And these small little kids would give you attitude. of the slaves back in their country. I thought, oh my God, what's this? So I said, okay, simple. So they were talented. They felt so arrogant and proud about themselves. You know what I did? You know what I did? I called in a good buddy friend of mine named Troy, who was an Aboriginal, and I asked him to teach them how to play Aussie rules. Well. They couldn't kick the ball. Right. When a person at that stage, they start realizing, oh my gosh, this is something I don't know. This is something I don't know. They kick this way and the ball goes that way. So I agree. Sports will give our children, whether Muslim and non-Muslim, yes, exactly what you're doing right now, definitely, to intermingle, to find something common amongst themselves. And they can start learning. Our Muslim community has to learn the Aussie culture. Our Muslim community has to study, learn, appreciate, and love the Aussie culture. That is important. And let me tell you why. Because our Islamic jurisprudence tells us we have to. I will tell you a hadith. A hadith is a saying of the Prophet. The hadith comes in reference back to Riyadh al-Salihin for the Muslims, and also Bukhari, where the Prophet was walking and he had one of his companions with him, and from another tribe, this man shouted at the Prophet, what we would call shouting today's time. And the companion got embarrassed and said to the guy, do you know this is Muhammad, this is our leader? So Muhammad said, calm down, and he shouted back. He said, that's the way they show fellowship. That's the way they show love and compassion. That's their style. That's the way they lingo with each other. So understand that, and we can understand love. We can understand love. Have you ever seen when two guys get together? When two guys get together? Ouch, man, it hurts. But the harder I hit, the harder clap. It's to show someone from overseas saying, oh my gosh, these guys torture each other. So it's important. Part of Islamic belief jurisprudence is acknowledging the culture and becoming part of it. Yes, there are certain things in the Islamic faith, like pork we cannot eat. But it's not something we say, oh, you can't be Aussie if you're not eating pork. But we don't drink wine. Okay, there we have a bit of a problem. There we have a bit of a problem. But anyway, besides that, there are certain mannerism ways that we can adopt. It's important, and I tell my Muslim community, you can check me on YouTube and my talks that I give, where I speak to the Muslim community. Teach your children how to mingle. Teach your children how to make this home. It's not going to become home by building a structure. It's what you do in the house that makes it home. Am I correct?
Yes.
It's what we do, not where we are. So that is something that I love. Sorry, Peter? Michael, thank you very much. Can we have another round of hands of applause? Can that be documented, please? Yes?
Hello, thank you everybody for coming, and it's really amazing to see this community come together like this. My name's Oliver, and I'm a theatre practitioner. One of the things that I have been thinking about for a long time is the way us as human beings tell stories. Not only the stories that we tell each other, but the ones that we tell in our own minds. And one of the ways that we can change those stories in our minds is by telling collective stories. With different community groups, with different cultural groups, and how those different cultural groups together can tell a single story, sharing our points of view to the point of finding one story that we can tell each other, that we can share with each other. That's one of the things I think about. The one of the things I'm trying to do is create groups and create theatrical productions in this region that do bring different cultural groups together. And I'd actually like to work with this community to see if we can create different stories like that.
Thank you very much. Dave, creating different stories. It's exactly what the brother is saying is so beautiful. It's like Peter's story. We think as Muslims we're the only ones that are suffering that backlash. But Peter just told us just now through his story of his life that we're not the only ones suffering. So I think that's a beautiful idea, having our wider Rockhampton community come into the mosque and tell their stories of the different challenges that they're going through, so that the Muslims don't feel that they're the only ones that are going through that challenge. Jay, is that documented? Thank you.
Hello.
We are begging you for the advice. So please, if everyone can go, can give us something, we can become a better society. It's not just about asking, it's about telling us what to do.
Hi. Thank you for the invite today.
Thank you very much for coming here.
And I'm working off the two suggestions that have been put forward already. It's wonderful to be here in the mosque. My name is Tom Polly. It's wonderful to be here, and I thank you for the invite. Both great suggestions. Good to do here. Why don't we do it in a park where people can see us? Everyone here enjoys being here, but we're not showing everyone how